My wife texted me at 9:32 a.m. on a Tuesday. I want a divorce. All communication through my lawyer. That was it. 15 years of marriage. Gone in one sentence. No fight. No warning. Nothing. The night before, we'd had dinner. Talked about our daughter's school project. Watched TV. Normal. Then by morning, everything was over. I stared at her message. My chest felt heavy, but my head went cold. She set the terms. Lawyers only. No discussion. I typed one word back. Understood. And in that moment, I knew what I had to do. She wasn't a joint owner on my accounts. She was an authorized user. I logged in. Canceled her cards. Done. The monthly transfer I'd been sending her. Stopped. Shared Netflix, Prime, Spotify. Logged her out. Changed passwords. The gas card tied to my account. Canceled. Took 30 minutes. It wasn't revenge. It was clarity. She wanted out. She got out. 3 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Sharp male voice. Mr. Walker? This is Mr. Evans. I represent your wife, Laura. She's having difficulties. Her cards aren't working. Her funds are cut off. This is highly irregular. I stayed calm. Mr. Evans, she ended the marriage by text. She instructed me to use lawyers only. I complied. She was never a joint holder. She was an authorized user. That ended when she ended us. Any financial support will be decided legally. My attorney, Ms. Carter, has already been retained. You may contact her. Paper shuffling. Irritation in his tone. My client requires money now. Housing. Food. She left the house voluntarily. I still cover the mortgage, utilities, insurance. If she needs more, file it in court. Silence. Then, we'll be seeking emergency relief. Then seek it, I replied. Hung up. My hands shook after, but underneath was calm. She wanted cold and legal. She got cold and legal. That was only the beginning. 4 days later, her best friend Rachel called. I made the mistake of answering. Her voice came fast, sharp. How could you do this to Laura? She's broke. She's sleeping on my couch. She can't buy groceries. She asked for divorce, I said. She asked for lawyers only. I respected her wishes. Don't play games, Rachel snapped. She barely works. She can't survive without you. Then she should have thought of that before she ended the marriage by text. Financials go through lawyers now. You're cruel. Heartless. Goodbye, Rachel. I hung up. The next day, I got a fraud alert from the bank. Someone tried to empty an old joint account. We'd opened it years ago, forgotten about it. Had about $600 left. The bank froze it. I knew it was her. I called Ms. Carter. She told me to document everything. Keep records. Every call, every attempt, every move mattered. By the following Monday, the first official filing arrived. Emergency temporary spousal support, plus exclusive use of the house she'd already left. The numbers were ridiculous. She wanted me to cover her old lifestyle, her rent, plus her legal fees. Ms. Carter filed a counter, a fraction of the amount, bare minimum support, based on her part-time income and actual needs. She also highlighted the text Laura had sent, and the fact that I canceled cards only after her demand for lawyers. The court date was set. The night before the hearing, her mother called me, crying. How could you do this to her? She gave you years of her life. She's struggling. The judge will see how unfair you're being. Do the right thing, Mark. Help her. I kept my voice flat. She ended the marriage through a lawyer. Support will be decided legally. I'm not discussing this. You're heartless. Click. Hung up. The hearing the next day was brutal. Laura sat across the room, eyes down, looking thinner. She wouldn't look at me. Her lawyer painted me as vindictive, said I blindsided her, said she was destitute, unable to afford food or housing. Ms. Carter calmly presented the text, showed the canceled cards were mine, never joint, showed the allowance I'd stopped, showed I still paid mortgage, utilities, car insurance, showed the attempt to drain the joint account. The judge wasn't impressed with their story. Temporary support was ordered, but far less than they wanted. Just enough for basics, nothing close to her old lifestyle. The judge even noted that her choice of lawyers only had consequences. For the first time I felt like I could breathe. But Laura didn't stop. A week later, HR at my job called me in. Anonymous complaint. Said I was using company time for personal legal matters. Said I was unstable. HR checked logs. Nothing. My boss backed me. Complaint dismissed. I knew who was behind it. Couldn't prove it. But I knew. Then came the texts. Not from her. From blocked numbers. You'll regret this. You'll lose everything. Then her cousin emailed my parents. Long message about how I abandoned Laura. How I left her homeless. My parents called me, confused, worried. I explained. They believed me. But the smear campaign had started. Through it all, I kept repeating the same thing. She wanted lawyers only. That's what she gets. 2 weeks later, the house felt like a war zone. Her things were gone. Closet half empty. Bathroom shelf cleared. Just me and silence. Then a letter came. From her lawyer. Demanding half of my retirement account. Half of the savings. Plus reimbursement for expenses she claimed she'd covered during the marriage. The number they wrote was insane. Ms. Carter told me, "Relax. They always start high. It's negotiation." I asked, "Can she really take half?" "Not half. Equitable distribution. It depends on state law, timing, contributions. She won't get what she thinks." Still, it ate at me. 15 years I worked. She worked part-time, spent more time on hobbies than jobs. I never complained. I just covered everything. And now she wanted to gut me. We started discovery. Bank statements, pay stubs, credit card histories. Ms. Carter warned me. She'll fight dirty. Expect surprises. She wasn't wrong. 3 days later, I got a notification from Experian. A new credit card had been opened under my name. Except it wasn't me. She'd used my social security number, old documents she still had. Fraud. I filed a police report. Froze my credit. Sent everything to Ms. Carter. She filed an emergency motion. The judge was furious. Admonished her lawyer. Told Laura in open court that this behavior could cost her claims. She sat there, red-faced, silent. After court, Rachel sent me a message on Facebook. "You're destroying her life. You'll pay for this." I blocked her. Weeks turned into months. Court dates, motions, depositions. My life shrank to work, paperwork, and silence. Then something cracked. During discovery, Ms. Carter found deposits. Cash, regular, thousands. Not from her part-time job. When questioned, Laura claimed it was gifts from family. But the amounts didn't match. Ms. Carter subpoenaed her Venmo and PayPal records. The truth came out. She'd been running a side hustle. Freelance work, paid under the table. For years. She'd told everyone she was broke. But she had her own money, hidden. The judge wasn't amused. Reduced her spousal support. Ordered her to pay part of my legal fees. That night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text, "You'll regret humiliating me." I stared at it, then turned the phone face down. The smear campaign grew. She told her family I'd been abusive. Told her friends I cheated. None of it was true. But whispers spread. Old neighbors stopped waving. Mutual friends stopped calling. I learned to live with silence. Then came the car. She stopped paying her loan. The car was still in both our names. Repo men showed up at my house. Took it from the driveway. I called Ms. Carter. She filed paperwork to remove me from liability. Every week, a new battle. Every week, another attempt to break me. And yet, piece by piece, she was the one unraveling. 9 months in, settlement talks began. Her lawyer pushed hard. She gave him the best years of her life. She deserves to be maintained at the standard she's used to. Ms. Carter stayed calm. The court has already ruled. She hid income. She committed fraud. He paid the mortgage, insurance, utilities for months after she left. He is not maintaining her lifestyle. He is maintaining his own survival. The offers bounced back and forth. At first, she wanted everything. Half my retirement, half my savings, spousal support for life. By the third round, reality hit. She had debts. She had no credit. She had no stability. The court wasn't on her side anymore. She finally settled. She got a fraction of what she asked for. Temporary support. A small share of retirement. Nothing more. When the papers were signed, I felt nothing. No joy, no relief. Just emptiness. She looked at me once across the table. Her eyes were tired. No anger left. Just defeat. I walked out, free. But not the same. Divorce was finalized, but fallout never stopped. 3 weeks later, I got a call from my daughter's school. The counselor said Laura had told them I was unstable, unfit, and that my daughter shouldn't be alone with me. CPS showed up at my house the same day. They inspected the fridge, her bedroom, asked questions. My daughter sat there confused, scared. When they left, the caseworker said, "Everything looks fine here. This will close quickly." But the damage was done. My daughter now looked at me differently, unsure. Laura had dragged her into it. I called Ms. Carter. She said, "We file for custody modification. Document everything. Don't retaliate," so I did. Every lie Laura told, every stunt she pulled, it all went into a folder. Her lies kept backfiring. At custody hearings, her claims fell apart. Teachers testified I was the one attending conferences, helping with homework, showing up. She missed meetings, missed pickups, the judge noticed. Slowly, custody shifted. More time with me, less with her. She hated it. One night she showed up at my door unannounced, screaming. Said I was poisoning our daughter against her. My daughter hid in her room crying. I recorded everything, sent it to Ms. Carter. 2 months later, the judge ruled. Primary custody to me. Visitation for her. That was the quietest victory I ever had. But she didn't stop. She started emailing my boss, long rants, said I was hiding money at work, said I was stealing. HR called me in again, showed me the emails. They knew they were nonsense, but warned me, this can't keep happening. I forwarded everything to Ms. Carter. She filed a harassment complaint. Judge ordered Laura to stop direct contact, use parenting apps only. Violation could mean contempt. The texts stopped. The calls stopped. But the silence was louder. I began rebuilding. I moved money into new accounts, set up credit locks, focused on work, focused on my daughter. But then, something unexpected happened. During final financial review, Ms. Carter found transfers from Laura's account to Rachel. Thousands. Regular. All while she claimed she was broke. We subpoenaed Rachel. She cracked. Admitted under oath that Laura had been funneling money to her, trying to hide it from division. The judge exploded, sanctioned Laura, ordered her to repay me legal fees again. That was when her lawyer quit, said she was uncooperative, dishonest. She had to scramble for a new one. I thought it was over, but Laura's family stepped in. Her brother showed up at my job's parking lot, waited by my car, tried to intimidate me. Said I ruined her life. Said she had nothing now. I kept calm. Recorded him. Called police. Filed a report. Ms. Carter filed for a restraining order. Granted, every time they pushed, they lost more. But every time it chipped at me, too. Nights alone. Friends gone. Family divided. My daughter caught in the middle. I kept going because stopping wasn't an option. The house became my battlefield. Mortgage payments stacked. Repairs piled up. Laura demanded I sell, said she wanted half the equity. I refused. Ms. Carter argued it was my premarital asset. She'd only lived there, never contributed. The court sided with me. House stayed mine. She got nothing from it. That crushed her. A year passed. She burned through what little settlement she got. Burned through Rachel's help. Moved apartments twice. Started borrowing from her parents again. Meanwhile, I kept my head down, worked overtime, paid off debts, slowly stacked savings again. She'd text sometimes through the parenting app. Cold, formal, always bitter. He needs new shoes. Pay now. School trip fee. Transfer funds. I paid when necessary. But nothing more. No warmth. No extra. Our daughter saw it. She grew distant from her mom, more attached to me. That was the real revenge. Silent, unstoppable. 2 years later, I got an email from a mutual friend. Attached was Laura's GoFundMe. Title: Single Mom Struggling After Divorce, Needs Help. She painted herself as abandoned, broke, helpless, claimed I left her with nothing, claimed I didn't support my daughter. People donated. Friends, strangers, thousands. I didn't respond. Didn't post. Didn't fight. But I sent the link to Ms. Carter. She filed it in court. Misrepresentation. Potential fraud. The judge hauled her in. She squirmed. Funds frozen. Donations refunded. Her face in that courtroom. Pure humiliation. By then, she was a ghost of who she used to be. The confident woman who texted me, "I want a divorce," with no warning, was gone. What remained was someone bitter, broken, trapped in her own lies. I didn't gloat, didn't smile, didn't speak. I just walked past her, silent. That was enough. It's been 5 years now. My daughter is thriving. College applications soon. She barely visits her mom anymore. Their relationship never recovered. Me? I kept everything steady. The house, the job, the savings. It wasn't easy, but I stayed standing. Sometimes late at night I think back to that text. I want a divorce, all communication through my lawyer. She thought those words gave her power. She never realized they gave me freedom.